And tickets officially purchased for Halloween Ends. I'll have John react to it on Peacock for not being here this morning. Guys, Halloween Ends final trailer. I'm excited for this, man. Super duper excited. I went to Halloween Horror Nights just the other day, and out of all the mazes, the common consensus amongst the whole group was that the Halloween maze was actually the best one. It's just got me in a super duper Michael Myers mood. So if you're here, please go ahead, leave a like. Let's see what's going on in this trailer and talk about it.
It's been 4 years since Michael Myers vanished without a trace.
Hello.
Oh, shit. So he's just been chilling in that cave this whole time?
I was certain that I saw him watching me.
You know he was.
You pretend like you moved on, but you're actually just obsessed with death.
What are you gonna do when Michael comes back for you? Because he is coming.
But this time, something feels different. He's more dangerous.
Goddamn right he is. This feels like such a true slasher movie. What? That's what I'm talking about.
He killed my daughter. But tonight, I will kill him. Come and get me.
Evil dies tonight.
Maybe the only way he can die is if I die too. It all ends now.
Oh, man. Holding his mask in the street? It's got to be the fake Michael, right?
You came here to kill me, so do it.
Or not. Never mind. Okay. It looked like that was from the same scene because there was that theory going around that in the trailer, that in the previous one, that was a fake Michael Myers, but that looks like it was from the same scene. Unless it's just another bulky ass impersonator of Michael Myers going around town. All right, we got ourselves another solid ass trailer for Halloween Ends. Despite what anyone says about Halloween Kills, I know that there's a divide when it comes to that movie. Evil Dies Tonight is just one of the greatest quotes of all time. I don't care what anyone says. I've been saying Evil Dies Tonight for about a year now, ever since I saw that film. Just once a day, I gotta say it. It's usually part of my mantra before I go to bed. Dude, the marketing here, alongside with what Jamie Lee Curtis has been talking about in interviews, it really seems like they're putting their heart and soul into this project. I have faith. I feel like they're gonna deliver on this one. Like, I like the setup quite a bit. To have the Halloween Kills be like seconds after Halloween, and then for this one to be 4 years later, adds a bit of a realistic touch to it. Michael Myers, you know, he got the shit kicked out of him, even though he came out on top, because Michael Myers always gets back up. Even though he got the shit kicked out of him at the end of the last one, you know, the guy sustained some injuries. Looks like he hasn't washed since then. Imagine that after 4 years, you do gotta heal up, and he doesn't strike me as the kind of individual who's, you know, gonna pay out of pocket at an ER visit, that he's probably just gonna naturally heal from all the wounds he's had to deal with. But I imagine that it's also created this like brewing, simmering rage within him. There's something that feels very personal about it again. And I think that's what made the Halloween 2018 reboot work so well. How personal it felt, especially for Laurie Strode. You know, when I hear Jamie Lee Curtis talking about saying goodbye for like the third time with this franchise, she gets very emotional about it. Jamie Lee Curtis is just a goddamn gem. The years, like over 40 years with this franchise, and to me, like turning in her best work in this franchise with Halloween 2018, and it looks like that performance going to be carrying over into here. And you know, when you see her getting like really emotional in interviews, there was one where I felt like she started to like tear up as she was talking about it. It's pretty gnarly. You know, you don't really say that about too many horror franchises. And her performance in 2018 is one of my all-time favorite horror movie performances, and especially out of the slasher genre. Her performance there is so captivating, and that was something that was sort of missing for Halloween Kills for me. The strong spotlight on Laurie Strode. This is bringing it full circle to that. Not only bringing it full circle to this recent trilogy, but also to the original Halloween film as well. I mean, that makes sense, considering the fact that the 2018 Halloween is supposed to be the real part 2. This movie in particular, you know, we're hearing a lot of crazy things about it that, you know, even Jamie Lee Curtis is saying, like, this movie's gonna push some buttons and that it might upset some people. You know, I know Halloween Kills dove a little bit more into the social commentary side. I hear this will deal with the pandemic in some way. I don't know. I really, when I hear it, I'm like, I don't know what they're going to be doing that's really going to upset audiences. What I'm finding so striking about these trailers, because while I like this one quite a bit, especially with the death of the guy in the pool, and then, you know, the classic stabbing them and they're on the wall, that felt just such like a fun slasher movie. But the especially Halloween Kills did not feel like a fun slasher movie. That was like, it had a bit of that like Rob Zombie grit to it, where it's really disturbing and unsettling violence, and that felt like fun violence. But I also imagine there's going to be some of that like, oh, this is uncomfortable violence as well in this movie, as you see that brutality that I'm speaking about. This feels very character driven at the same time for Laurie Strode, and the way they talk about it, I'm like, is she going to die in this movie? It seems like they would kill her. Like, is the trailer dropping too many hints that she'd die, especially having lines in this trailer like, maybe for him to die, I have to die. Like, we're tethered that way. So in order for evil to die tonight, I have to die along with the evil. Maybe. I just hope that, you know, she is in her older years now, and as athletic as she has remained this entire time, and as strong as a performer she has remained, I imagine that she would want to really finally be able to say goodbye in a proper fashion. If it's the end for her, would that really be the end for Michael Myers? You doubt it. I don't know. I'm kind of having like a stream of consciousness thoughts with I'm having a stream of consciousness thoughts right now with Halloween Ends. I'm liking thematically what this is putting on display. Like, you feel the fear, you feel the rage. I've been hearing a lot of talk from the test screenings, at least. Like, a common thing that's been going around is that the finale of this movie is very, very intense. And that was something I said about the 2018 one. That finale was really gripping and suspenseful. And if that's going to be the case for this one, I mean, like, that's great news, especially when it's supposed to be the end of a particular trilogy. If you can go out with a bang, I hope that they are actually able to pull this off. But this one seems like it's definitely bringing it back a little bit more to the 2018 version, because, you know, so much of what I feel like this trilogy has dealt with is grief, you know, especially when it comes to Laurie Strode, but even the town of Haddonfield. This is a big story about grief. It's a big story about grief, essentially. And that moment that they show in the trailer here with Allison, where they're butting heads with each other, you know, I imagine that they're dealing with grieving the loss of Laurie Strode's daughter, Karen, created a strain within their own relationship as well. Like, all they have is each other. They got to protect each other, but perhaps there's some blame going around as well. It's got to do a lot, this movie. It's got to be a conclusion. It's got to be the final chapter. It's got to keep the character moments going. It's got to have that nuance, and it's got to have some exciting kills. It's got to be brutal. There's a lot this film actually has to pull off. At the end of the day, I think all of us really want to just have a good time more than anything else. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for being here. See you guys soon.